And that is a huge attack gone across. Naomi Cantily waiting and seeing her teammate going flying past. This group has got to get back to them on the descent, and I fear for Emma Pooley here, because she was just tailed off a little bit on the descent, and she seems to have been a little bit in trouble on that first climb of this last lap. She's pulled it all back together a little bit. The group are beginning to work together, but Johansson is on the front of that chasing group. But the Italians now had 2 in the break, and that's quite a good gap. So Grodozzo is gone. Cantily just sits here behind. She has no need to do anything in the moment. She's got a teammate up the road. Christian Armstrong and Marianne Vos. It's down to them to chase this girl down.
Yes, it's the other two who's going to do the chasing now, Vos and Armstrong. Cantily is just going to tag along here on the rear, and this is where the numbers, you know, play into the hands. If you have, as the Italians, a 2 up front, and you play the attacking game, and that's what they've done. And you know, if the two Armstrong and Vos really work well together, pull Gudero back, we're going to see Cantily going in the attack again.
Grodozzo. Grodozzo attacking. Vos is doing the chasing. Christian Armstrong's behind. Naomi Cantily can just sit there at the moment. So how has it panned out? The reigning world champion Nicole Cooke suffering from the very early part of this race, out of this race now. No longer can she hope to retain that jersey. There are 4 riders up the front, 1 lone rider, Grodozzo of Italy, being chased down by Marianne Vos and Christian Armstrong. Vos of the Netherlands, Christian Armstrong of the United States of America. She has another teammate with her, Naomi Cantily, who's just taking the tow, just taking the ride down this fast part of the section. Terrific ride by Vos. She's just hung in there and just watched. Christian Armstrong's done a lot of work. Cantily too has played a very canny game. Britain's Emma Pooley seems to have worn herself out quite a bit doing all the climbing. Hopefully she's still got something in the tank. Can they bring it all back together? It's looking doubtful to me, though. The big news, of course, is that the reigning world champion Nicole Cooke not able to compete at all today on a level. There was some speculation that she had crashed early on, but apparently she has told the team herself, and we've just confirmed this, that no, she didn't crash. So maybe held up, but no, she didn't crash, and has pulled out of this race now. So Nicole Cooke telling her own team that no, she didn't crash, but even so, not a good day for the... She was never ever in it, Sean.
No, always looked to be uncomfortable in the first time up the first climb of the day on the first lap. You know, she was suffering. We see her on the descent, and we're wondering what was the problem, and it just that never got settled into the race at all, and was always chasing her game.
Well, if these three, if Grodozzo gets brought back by the work of Armstrong and Vos, surely Cantily is in the pound seat, because she can sprint reasonably well, not maybe as well as Vos, but she can sprint reasonably well, and she's the one doing no work at all here.
Yes, and you know, it's a great position to be in, and it depends on your teammate out front, Gudero. You know, how strong is she, because the next climb is going to be a test, and also, you know, Armstrong and Vos, if they're really strong on this final climb of the day, they could claw the Italian back. So it's going to be an interesting one, but riders everywhere at the moment, groups, you know, scattered all over the descent here, and if somebody, which I doubt very much, is really strong, they could come across on this final climb. But you know, the last climb was an indication. Anybody losing a bit of time on that on the last climb is going to be in difficulty once again on the final climb of the day.
Pushing on hard still at the front, it's Titania Grodozzo. Well, Naomi Cantily is there if anything befalls this girl, Grodozzo. She did this last year in Varese, Sean. She went on the attack with about, what, 3.5 kilometers to go. She was brought back, and then her teammate went off the front. But they played the perfect hand again, the Italians.
Yes, and you know, it's great when you have a position like that with 4 riders up front, 2 from the same country. You know, it's just such an advantage. You know, you can go in the attack, and also when you have a teammate up, the morale boost they give you, it's you know, it's very important, and you know, it's working so well for the Italians at the moment.
Pooley at the front here, doing the work, trying to chase things down. Emma Pooley, she's got to keep it together. She's got to keep her head together. She's a great climber, but she looked like she was suffering on the last climb, as did Emma Johansson just behind her. The Swede who's taking a tow here, Verbeek from Belgium. Ruth Corset, who the first time looked to be under pressure. Nicole Brandley started the last climb at the head of affairs, but it didn't work out that way at the moment. Gurdezo, Titania Gurdezo looks over her shoulder, and I think Christian Armstrong has been doing the work, shutting her down a little bit. Voss has now taken over at the front. Yes, she has. And Cantlay must be smiling from ear to ear, I would imagine.
Yes, and yeah, she's looking out there, and she can see a teammate just out in front, and you know, there's a world title here to go for, and you know, she will be saying, well, you know, hopefully she'll be not able to stay out there. That's the way it is in the end, and we have 2 very good climbers here. Voss, you know, a very good climber and a good sprinter, and Armstrong probably, you know, the better climber of the 2 who are doing the work here on the front. It'll be interesting to see now how well they will, you know, pull on together here, but certainly Cantlay is in the perfect seat. She's getting just a toe along at the moment.
And Voss makes sure she gets in behind her here on the climb. This is the steepest part of this climb. Armstrong gradually shutting down Titania Gurdezo. Cantlay's on the left-hand side. She's just deliberately moving to the left, so Voss has to come back through and try and do some work. She's not going to do any work if she can avoid it. The Italian has a teammate up the road. Watch the gap back down. It's so significant now that it's going to be really hard for anybody to do anything now. Is that Cheekley on the front? Well, they can see Titania Gurdezo up ahead, and Christian Armstrong looking at, well, they're both looking a little bit reluctant to put full gas on this at the moment.
Well, I'm not sure if it's that they're just really under pressure. Everybody, I think, is on the limit at the moment and giving it 100%. So it's you know, it's that point of the race. They've, you know, been out there for quite a long time, and when you get to that final lap, everybody, I think, is really suffering and giving it 100% at the moment.
I'm not so sure, actually, because Gurdezo's pulled out a gap again, and I wouldn't have expected that. Now Marianne Vos starts to go again. I think Gurdezo's been going absolutely flat out. I think the other 2 have been looking at each other a little bit. Pooley, Emma Pooley, who's been doing this for such a long time, right the way through, is a Chase 2 group. As you can see, she's leading everybody else up. But I fear that even on this climb, somebody towards the top will jump her, and away they go and try and gain a place anyway. Gurdezo is digging deep. Cantlay is right behind. The other 2 riders, Voss and Armstrong, not wanting to tow her up. Nicole Brandley suffering from the back of Group 2 here.